Hello dear learners, I am Arul Ranjan from XXIII and I am going to discuss today about the graphical approach in motion. I have already dealt about the graph, basic concept of graph in the previous lecture, and I have also dealt about the how to draw a linear graph or line graph in the case of mathematical case and as well as in the case of kinematics. In this lecture I am going to discuss about how can you draw the graph when the expression is quadratic, or how can you draw the parabolic graph. So let us study about it. We have already discussed the graphical approach in the previous lecture. We have already studied that how can we draw the graph if graph is a straight line. So the graph in which we plot y versus x and the graph is straight line, then we say that graph is linear graph. We have already drawn in the previous lecture. So here I am giving you some summary about it. When the powers on both the variables x and y are 1, then we call this type of graph is linear graph, because if the powers on variables x and y are 1, then in every case we can find that the graph is a straight line. That's why this kind of graph is called linear graph. Here you can say that x plus y is equal to 2, and if you plot the graph of this expression, then we must find that the graph is a straight line. That's why here the power on x is 1 and the power on y is 1. And in the same way, if we take y is equal to x, and here x power on x is 1 and y is 1, then we can draw the graph. We can find that it's a straight line. In the same manner, we have found that s is equal to 2t plus 1. In the previous lecture, you have drawn this kind of graph already. So here s is x acts as y and t acts as x, and here b acts as y and t acts as x. So you have drawn already the various kind of graph. In the previous lecture I have given you that some of it is, if you draw the b is equal to u plus 80, the graph it seems to you like this. And if you draw the graph of y is equal to x, then the graph must seems like this. And if you draw the graph of s is equal to 2t plus 1, then the graph must be like this. It passes through 0, 1 along y-axis, on y-axis, and it passes through 0, 0, that means origin, and it passes through 0, u on the y-axis. You have already drawn about it. Now in this lecture we will deal about the another expression, that is parabolic graph or graph of quadratic expression. You already know that what are the quadratic expression or quadratic equation, that if a power on y is 1 and maximum power on x is 2, then we say that this kind of expression or equation is a quadratic equation. And here there is examples. Here power on y is 1 and the power on x is 2. That's why we say that this equation is a quadratic equation. And here the power on y is 1 and power on x is 2. That's why it is a quadratic equation. In the similar fashion, s is equal to ut plus half at square, that is here power on s is 1 and power on maximum power on t is 2. Here power on t is 1 and here power on t is 2, and the maximum power on time is 2. That's why it is a quadratic equation. In the similar way, b square is equal to u square plus 2s. Here power on b is 2 and the power on s is 1. That's why we say that these kind of expression or equation are quadratic equations. Here u and a are constant. In every case here u and a are also constant. Constant means you have to take it like a number on the graph. So in every situation here in the graph and for the quadratic equation, we must find the graph like that, like this. This may be this kind of this and this like this, and it may appear like this and like this. These kind of graph are called parabola because we find the same path when we throw a ball in the sky. That's why it is a parabola. Para means the path, bola means ball. The path traced by ball when you throw it in the sky. Now the next problem is, how can you draw the parabolic graph? For the drawing of parabolic graph, let us say take an example of simple case y is equal to x square. So first of all you have to make the table like this. I have put 0 x 0 and I have taken the value of y is equal to 0 square is equal to 0, and if you take x equal to 1, that means y is equal to 1 square, it is 1, and if you take x is equal to minus 1, then we also find the y equal to minus 1 whole square, that is 1. And in the similar way we can take x 2, minus 3, 3, 4, 9, anything you want to. Now in this situation, for parabolic expression or quadratic equation, you must have to take both kind of values, that is negative and positive. So you must take x some value of x as positive and some value of x as negative for the complete drawing of graph. So now you can draw the grid pattern on your copy and take suitable scale and point out the coordinates. Here I have taken 0, 0 coordinate, 1, 1, minus 1, 1, 2, 4 and minus 2, 4. Here I have taken x-axis and here y-axis. That means this is origin 0, 0. So I have plotted 0, 0. Now I have taken the scale one big box is 1 unit on both the axes, means this is 1, this is 1, this is 1, and along axis this is 1, this is 1, this is 1 unit. So if I want to draw 1, 1 coordinate, that means this is 1 and this is 1. It means our coordinate point is here 1, 1 here. And now if you plot 2, 4, that means here 2 unit and here 4 unit. It means this point is 2, 4. In a similar way, this point is minus 1 and 1. It means this point is minus 1, 1. And the similar way, this is minus 2 for x and y, for y it is 4. That's why it is minus 2, 4. And now join all the points by freehand, not using a scale but by freehand. So you must find a curve-like structure, a curve-like path, which we call parabola. So in this way we can draw the graph of quadratic expression in various cases. Now let us look some examples for try at home problem. So you must have to draw this kind of quadratic expression by yourself, so that you can be skilled in your drawing skill of graph. So try it yourself, because by doing yourself you must be skilled in the graphical approach. Thank you.